Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back, everyone. Maybe you, maybe someone you know is considering getting married in a nice place, tropical place, somewhere different like Hawaii. It's basically a fantasy, a dream come true, but attainable. But there are some of us will say, I could probably put the pieces together and get this done. I just need somebody to officiate the ceremony. You might want to rethink that. And that comes from experience, me personally, and what she's dealt with. She is the owner of Simple Kona Beach Weddings. She takes care of everything for your wedding in Hawaii. And we're going to go deeper into this and look at it from all different angles. Our professional of the year, Becky Ringler, is back with us. How are you doing today?
Great, Steve. How are you? It's a really, I know it's getting colder in other parts of the country, but
Go ahead and rub it in. Go ahead. Keep
it's a
doing
little warm here.
I can say that because you're from upstate New York, where
Yeah.
I'm
I know what it's like.
I'm downstate New York. It never gets or got as cold as it is upstate. But you made that change to Hawaii years ago, and I am envious for that. I have to tell you. What's your high temp today? Let's go there.
I don't know, probably 80. I don't know what it is. It's only 10 o'clock this morning, so it's early. So I'm going to say it's probably going to be 80-ish. So my favorite temperature.
Coming from colder climates, do you ever miss the cold? Do you ever really miss the snow?
So now, and by the way, we will get back to the tips and what we're about to talk about,
Yes.
but the answer is yes. Before, but I like to visit and leave and come back. So
Okay.
I am a summer person, which is why I chose to live in Hawaii. But I miss fall. Sometimes I love the fall. I love the smell of leaves and that kind of like crispy feeling.
Hmm.
And I do miss the snow, but I hated the fact that winter lasted so long
Yeah.
and I was really over it. So it's nice to before I never wanted to go anywhere cold on vacation. Now I don't mind. Like it's kind of a fun thing to do. And then I get to come home and it's great again. So
Yep.
I hate to say it, but it's true.
Totally
Yes.
get it. It's like being a parent. Your kids are grown now, and now you have grandkids, and you have them for a couple of hours occasionally, and then then you get your
Yeah.
fix. So let's talk about getting married in Hawaii and thinking that you can do it yourself, plan it all out.
Yeah. So it's pretty common. I will say that I get couples sometimes, they fill out my form and they say, I don't know where to start, what to do. I'm coming from like recently there was a couple from Florida. Uh, they had like 12 people coming with them. And then I sent them my questionnaire that I have everybody fill out, typically, unless it's like a really last minute one. And she's like, oh, well, we were just really looking just for an officiant. And by the way, this is fine if
Mhm.
that's what you think that you need. And I always, I said that's okay. We provide everything that you'll need for your ceremony, including help with hair and makeup, your photographer, um, you know, uh, beach permits, like all that stuff, flowers. But so if anything changes, let me know because it seems like, okay, in one's mind, Steve, it feels like, what's the big deal? We just gather on a beach and we just have an officiant and that's it. Like
Yep.
it's so easy. Um, However, getting married in a place like Hawaii, there are a ton of restrictions. There are things you cannot do on the beach in Hawaii. You need a permit 99% of the time for the beach, and that requires liability insurance specific for the state. Um, and so many times my couples, so the couples that do hire me, even though they know that there's stuff, they're always like, oh my God, I wasn't even expecting, I didn't even think of that. Like I didn't even consider all of the coordination that needs to go into even just a small beach wedding, even if it's just you two. Um, because there's everything from if you want leis for everybody, if you're having a traditional Hawaiian ceremony and maybe you want leis for your guests, it's help with finding photographers, help with finding good hair and makeup people. If you want a videographer, for instance,
Yep.
also help with dinner, knowing where to go, getting the maps, knowing what beaches, because it also, you can like look online and you're like, this beach looks perfect, but maybe you don't realize that that beach requires a really long hike. Or it's mislabeled, because most of the time the beaches here are mislabeled. People don't know what they are. So there's all sorts of things that go into this that are harder. And Hawaii is notoriously bad. People that live here who have businesses, it's getting a little better, but it is notoriously bad for people posting accurate information online or even being online. A lot of this is word of
Mm.
mouth stuff, so that it's hard to find or gather or have people call you back, for that matter. And I do get a lot of couples who have told me that they tried to do it themselves and then they're like, I realized they couldn't. So now I'm calling you. They didn't call me before and they did it. They tried to DIY it. So yeah.
Do you feel that some look at it as, well, okay, um, it is part of the US. It's not part of the mainland. It's not like another country. So,
Right.
I'm going to feel comfortable. In Hawaii, they speak English. I can figure it out. You think that's part of the mentality?
Sure. I mean, it also seems like it should be, I agree. It seems like it should be really easy. And my job is to make it feel easy, but that has been over 10 years worth of experience of developing relationships and understanding, the best beaches, what's not going to be crowded, where you can have the best experience, where the best weather is, the most friendly beaches also for weddings, because some beaches are really not friendly for weddings here. I would say mostly on the Kona side where I am, I would say generally speaking, it's a friendlier environment for any tourist. But still, you need to be aware of what's okay and what's not okay. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, there's a lot of things to think about. And I understand the feeling of thinking, hey, it's not so bad, it's going to be easy. But remember, this is a very remote island. A lot of things that you think you can get or do, it's not the same as the
Yep.
mainland. Things are a little more difficult here. That's just all there is to it.
Well, to your point, there's a lot more going on there than we realize. For example, I never knew some of the regulations on the beaches. I would think, well, we can bring horses, or there's many things that you would think that's a public beach. So, I'm sure they have little regulations here and there. No, it's fairly strict, and I don't mean to scare anybody, but there are certain things you can do and you can't do. Nobody's going to know that unless it's somebody who does this on a regular basis. You can Google it, you can search. You're probably not going to get all the details.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I know that, sometimes we try and share, I and a couple of other business owners try and share some tips online, but also some of the stuff, we're not going to give you all of the information necessarily. There's too much to give, A, and B, some of that is, even if we gave you the information, you wouldn't be able to implement it
Mm.
unless you were here. So there's certain things where it's, it's, that's what I like. The nice thing is that over these years, you gather up all this information that is helpful. And I feel like my job is to make sure that my couples, we've talked about this so many times before, but where my couples feel like they don't have to worry about anything. I have it handled. I'm going to be there. Things are going to be I mean, yes, there are certain X factors, right? We can't control the weather. We can't control a certain outside factors, but we'll do our best. Usually it's nice on the beach in Hawaii, like 99% of the time. It's nice up here on the beaches. So it's not something really to be concerned about most of the time either. Yeah.
And also, this is a special time in your life. Why do you want to worry about things?
Yeah.
I even if you're doing it on your own, there's still amount of stress, anxiety that goes into that, making sure that when you get there, things that you planned or scheduled are going to take place. It's no guarantee you're not there. And you don't have personal relationships, not just with, call it vendors. Let's say you want a ukulele player coming. I don't know who to
Yep.
call. Oh my God, he didn't show up. Because
Right.
they're personal friends of yours. You've used
Right.
them over and over again. You vetted it. You know they're going to be good. And right down to even obtaining a marriage license, the people in the municipalities, you know how to get it done, where somebody else might fly there and think that, well, we'll roll into town, we'll get that taken care of. And oh,
Yeah.
they're closed today.
In
I
fact,
didn't know it was a holiday.
that's a big problem actually, because we have very few marriage license agents on this island. They're
Wow.
trying to beef it up again, but there are very few, and they all work by appointment only. And this is the thing that makes me sad. So I've had makeup artists call me and say, "Oh my God, there's this couple who just got this person from Oahu, to do a cheap wedding for them.
Hmm.
They don't even have a marriage. They didn't know they needed a marriage license. They don't even know how to get one. Their wedding's this afternoon. Like, can you help them?" And I'm like, well, here's what you should tell them to do. But it makes me angry, actually, at the lack of I feel like people have a responsibility, to make sure that their couples know that. But some people are like, no, you deal with it. Like, I'm just here to show up and do your wedding and leave. You deal with everything else. And the other thing is, I've had a lot of photographers tell me that they love coming to my weddings. They love doing my weddings because they can just be a photographer. A lot of times people think, oh, well, they don't hire anybody, but then the photographer ends up trying to be the coordinator of the whole event. And that's not their job. Their job is to take beautiful photos. Their job is to direct beautiful photos, but it is not to make sure everybody in your wedding knows where to go and
Right.
that everything's running on time. That is not their job. And so um, it leads to frustration it puts an undue burden on people where that's not their role, and you shouldn't expect them to be that. And sometimes you think, oh, it's going to be fine. And then you realize you're relying on somebody because things have fallen apart and they're the only person there. So, yeah. And by the way, I hope I don't sound angry. It's more like I feel frustrated because I wish that my goal is so that people understand, um, like, let me make it easy for you. I guess that's the point. Like, you don't need, like, to your point, Steve, you don't need the stress and the frustration. Getting married is a really like emotional event. Even when everything is taken care of for you, there are lots of emotions that come up with a wedding, just like, oh my God, I'm actually getting married. And it may not be stress. Sometimes it is. If you've got family in town, that's stress enough for a lot of people.
Hmm.
There's all sorts of family dynamics. And then there's just in general the emotion of getting married, which is like so filled with so many things. So yeah, it's a lot. And I'd like to
Wow.
just like take all the other stuff off your plate so that let me deal with that so you can just have your like regular wedding day emotions, which hopefully is filled with joy. Um, yeah.
Let's look at the marriage license. We've mentioned that a while back, but what are the requirements there?
So, okay, so you do not need a witness, FYI. That sounds fun. Can I get a witness? No,
Witness, right?
we don't. You do not need a witness. And there is no waiting time in the state of Hawaii. So you can literally get your marriage license and get married like 5 minutes later if you wanted to. So that's a nice thing. Some states have a waiting requirement of 24 to 48 hours. Here, there is no waiting period, which is great. Um, you need to apply. Technically, you can apply in person with the marriage license agent, but it is best. Almost all of them require you or would like you to fill out the form online ahead of time. And I have all the links for all of my clients on my site. You go, you fill out the marriage license information. Um, then I always help my couple set up the marriage license appointment so that it's easy for them, that they know where to go. I give them the instructions. I have, again, good relationships with all the marriage license agents. And then I remind everybody, bring your marriage license with you to the ceremony because I sign it and then I file it afterwards. So there's nothing the couple needs to do after the ceremony is over. That's my job. Um, but beforehand is their job, but I try and make it as easy as possible for them. So
Mm.
yeah.
If I'm correct in this, some municipalities in the United States, you don't have to be present. You just need to file, and you need somebody to witness it. It's different. And then the officiant usually is the one that sends it in. One might assume that fly to Hawaii. All right, yeah, well, here oh, wait a minute. We can't do this. We
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah, you need to go. The reason you go to the marriage license agent in person, they need to physically see you, verify that you are who you say you are that's a state requirement with your photo ID.
Mm,
Uh, you go over all the information that you wrote on the form to make sure it's all accurate and correct. And that way, by the way, if you mess up anything online, don't worry. You can fix that with a marriage license agent. That's part of the reason you meet with them. Sometimes people like put their birth date, but they put like this year, that's like a common thing. Like, you put your birth date and then it's just automatic. You put this year, or you mess up a parent's birth date or birthplace or something, you
sure.
can fix all of that stuff. So Yeah, and then of course I will file it afterwards. Also, if you're getting married here, you need a marriage license from the state of Hawaii. You cannot bring one from your home state here. That's not, you can't do that. And don't bother wasting your money to do that. If you want to get married here, and yes, it is valid in all 50 states. We are part of the US, so your marriage here will be valid anywhere. And of course, it's valid worldwide, marriage in the States, although sometimes in other countries, um, people will have to do something special when they get home. Some countries have like an apostle or something that they have to sign. The marriage license agent will give them the form for that. Um, Canada is very easy. I think you just take your US marriage certificate to an office and it's legalized. So there's a lot of, it's pretty easy in most countries. And I believe marriages in the US are recognized worldwide, or I should say most country, anyone who comes here, it is that I've ever married, it has been recognized in your home country. So yeah.
And I would imagine, maybe rhetorical, got to say it though, you do a lot of vow renewals.
I
No
do.
marriage license needed
No,
for that.
you're already married.
Yeah, you're already
Right.
married.
Yes, you're already married. Just because you're renewing your vows does not mean you need to refile your marriage license. It may seem obvious, but sometimes people do ask me that. So don't worry. There's no marriage license required. You will get a decorative vow renewal certificate from me because that's fun. But there's no legal anything that you have to do, obviously.
Have you ever
Or
had somebody, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, or if some people do get married in their home state before they come, like they just go to a judge, they just want it legally registered, so they don't have to take time on their vacation to do this extra part. You can do that too. And then we just don't file a license here. So it's
Hmm.
pretty easy.
What if somebody's been married, I don't know, 10 years, and they decide to renew their vows there, but they really want it to count as we got married in Hawaii? Could you get a marriage license from Hawaii? And you can't do that because it's already been
You're already
filed.
married. Yeah, you're
You're already
already
married.
married. So that's, yeah, no, you can't. But that's why I give you your decorative certificate. So at least
Gotcha.
you have to feel like, yes. The other thing I was going to say is that sometimes people ask me, they say, gosh, I have to put down my divorce date, my divorce. I'm like, I don't remember. It was 10 years ago or it was 20 years ago. I don't remember. I don't remember the exact date. I don't care to remember. And the advice that I've always gotten from the marriage license agents is to just take your best guess, pick a month, it's just a month and a year, do your best. It's not like you don't need to prove, you don't need to show the only time you need to have your divorce papers with you if it's been less than 30 days. Then you need
Wow.
to bring your divorce papers, a certified copy with you to prove that you are indeed divorced. So that's the only time that you need to prove that. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Do your best. Guess, that's all they care about.
This is
So
stuff you're not going to find online. And also, good luck. And I don't mean this in a bad way, getting that marriage license uh, individual on the phone. I mean, like you
oh,
said,
yeah.
there's not a ton of them around. And what else has surprised people when they've maybe tried to do this on their own? Anything that you recall stand out?
I think the biggest thing that people tell me is that no one's calling them back or no one's
Hmm.
getting back to them.
You
This
know
is
what? I don't mean to cut you off, but I need to say it here because
yeah,
I've spoken with people you have worked with. We've had them on this podcast,
yeah,
and that's one of the things they said. We had a
yeah,
couple that said that they had Googled a couple of different places. Nobody called them back. You did, very short time, great communication, did a Zoom video. They felt like they knew you, and it was just bam, logical choice.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, to me, that's a really big thing. And this is Hawaii. People are pretty lax here. Like,
Yeah.
that's just the culture. People are slow. I am from New York originally, so I'm a little faster at things. And I understand having gotten married in Hawaii before we lived here, I was frustrated all the time that no one communicated with me. It was a very, even though, and I did most of it myself, which did not want to do. I tried to hire somebody, and there was very few people doing what I do now. I think there's more people uh, offering different types of services now, but I tried to hire someone. They're like, I'm not available. So I ended up having to do it myself. And I
Mm,
can tell you, it was a very frustrating experience. And I did it at a hotel where they still didn't help me. By the way, hotels, they have a coordinator or they have somebody, but they're not going to do the same thing. Often I will do like the wedding part sometimes at a hotel. Not as often, but if you want that little extra, like, let me just basically take care of everything for you, because the other folks they have a limited capacity in the role at the hotel. So it depends on the place, but oftentimes it is a little bit more limited than what I do.
The difference is, and I never shared this with you, Becky, but in another life, I got married in Hawaii using a hotel.
Oh, you did.
Yes, I did. And the experience was meh. I'm just going to leave it at that. Um, there were some things that were overlooked, and I didn't have a big wedding party. I went with another couple. Um, but yep, did the horse-drawn carriage down to the, I don't know what it's called.
Like a gazebo or something,
Thank
or
you.
like,
Yeah,
yes.
overlooking the water, blah, blah, blah. It was okay, but it wasn't, I thought it was, yeah, they got everything. They're going to take care of it. Here's the difference. Not taking anything away from people at hotels, but they're not personally invested in it. They're
Right.
doing their job and they want, people to be happy, but it's also at the hands of others that they need to rely on, be it a chef, be it whoever. You take this to heart.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. It's as if you are marrying a relative.
That's
That's
how it
how
feels to me.
passionate
Yeah.
you are about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I feel like one of the things that my couples tell me is that they're like, it mattered to me that you seem to really care about my wedding. I'm like, of course I care about your wedding. If someone trusts me with their wedding, then I take that personally. Like, I want it to be awesome for you. And I want it, and that's why we establish a relationship. Occasionally, if it's a very simple wedding, we don't talk as many times as when it's a custom wedding and there's a lot of like moving parts. Then we will talk sometimes several hours on the phone or on the Zoom before we actually meet. But even so, I still care about every wedding.
Mm.
And that is a difference because it's um like you say, at a hotel. And again, I am not dissing anybody who works at the hotels. They
Oh,
have a really difficult job, but it's their job. And it's different when for me, this is not only my livelihood, but it's my passion, right? It's something that I love more than anything. Like there's something so magical about being a part of that special moment when people come together and making sure that it runs smoothly. Like that makes me so happy. So, yeah.
your reputation, which is impeccable, look at the reviews, talk to other couples. You take this very seriously, whereby, again, if it's somebody at a hotel, yeah, that's their job. They'll get it done. Things can slip through the crack. And again, you're handling everything. They're not. They have to rely on others. Anything that we didn't hit? We have like a minute left.
The only thing I want to talk about actually is I want to remind people about my coloring book. It is the holiday season, and maybe when you listen to this, it's not, but this is a great gift anytime.
Sure.
Uh, my husband and I made this coloring book, Aloha Adventures, a cute and cozy animal coloring book. It is filled with, let me see if I can get this
There we go.
to
Yep.
see. And then inside there are lots of cute little pages of like awesome like Hawaii scenes doing various things. There's a sloth, a llama, and a baby hippo. Um, and it's just if you are longing for Hawaii and maybe you can't get here, this is not only just for kids, this is for teens, this is for adults who love to color. There's a huge adult coloring movement right now.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
It is like the best stress relief there is.
Yes, yes, totally. And by the way, a little side note, although not Hawaii related, we just came out with our second one, which is Swiss Adventures, a cute and cozy animal coloring book. The same three characters, they go throughout Switzerland. There's lots of cool little Swiss adventures. There's a lot of cool little snow things. So it was fun for me because I was sort of like, oh, it's cozy little snow things. Where here I'm in Hawaii and there's sledding with hot cocoa and there's still like the chameleon. We brought the chameleon from Hawaii into this book too. So there's a little chameleon. So and you can get
Wait,
those.
wait, 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 wait.
Yeah,
Let's get that out there first.
yeah.
The chameleon makes
Yeah.
appearances in every scene.
Every scene.
Yeah.
Every scene. Here's one of my favorites actually in the Swiss one. Um, hang gliding.
Oh, cool.
And there
Oh,
is
he's hanging out with his tail.
yeah, well, that's his tongue.
Oh, his tongue.
So his tongue is there. So yeah, the you have to find the chameleon. Sometimes he's obvious and sometimes he's not. But so that's my little piece of Hawaii that goes with all of the animals throughout. In fact, I mean, a sloth, a llama, and a baby hippo do not belong in Hawaii in the first place. But my chameleon is like the little nod to Hawaii that will be in every book. So yeah.
looking forward to seeing the Swiss Adventure book. I have the other one. Coming from somebody who came this close to being a syndicated cartoonist years
Oh, yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
I can say it's so well done. The
Okay.
illustrations, the thickness of the line would makes it easier to color, right down to the tips on what markers to use. Nobody ever tells you. I went through it. I went through like four different sets from Amazon, sent them back. Wasn't, I mean, it lacked color, bled through all of that. You address all of it, but you're got to be a type A personality.
Yeah,
Your
I am.
attention to detail. And the Swiss thing, is that because you and your husband like to travel to Switzerland?
Yeah, we I've been there twice. It was one of our favorite places on our last trip to Europe, and we've been trying to hit places that we love traveling to. So there's little the hang gliding. I went hang gliding the first time I went to Switzerland
Huh,
in Interlaken. I was obviously not by myself. I was like strapped to somebody, but it was really really fun. And I know we're at time, but a very quick story. Right before, so you're the advice is 3, 2, 1, step, step, run, like off a cliff, right? And right before we went, there was a guy doing his hang gliding, and he like fell, and I saw him like plummet, and I was like, oh my God, did he die? Like, is it gonna be okay? And then I saw him like dragging the thing back up because it was kind of like a slope, and he landed and he dragged himself back up. He was fine. So I was like, well, I'm either gonna die or it's gonna be fine. And it was thrilling, exhilarating. I'm so glad I did it. I was 22 at the time. And my husband and I did not go hang gliding the time that we went this time, but we had many other wonderful adventures. And some of those are in the book. So yeah.
beautiful. 3, 2, 1, go to the website and learn more. Connect if you or even somebody you're thinking, somebody you know, maybe it's your kids considering getting married in Hawaii. Learn more. SimpleKonaBeachWeddings.com.
Yeah.
Becky, thanks for being here again today. Good
Thanks
stuff.
so much, Steve. Great. Have a great one.
You too. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.